Welcome to CIA.
The CIA doesn't even acknowledge that the farm exists.
We're going to hand you the tools, the black arts. Not witchcraft, tradecraft.
There isn't anybody who hasn't thought about who are those guys? How do they pick those guys? How do you get into the CIA?
So why are you here? Why are you here? It ain't the money.
This is the first movie to ever address and be set at the training facility where spies learn how to be spies.
You have all just stepped through the looking glass. Nothing is what it seems.
The writers on this project spent a lot of time with Chase Brandon of the CIA, who has worked for the CIA for many, many, many years, including as an instructor at what is known as the farm, the place where CIA operatives are trained.
Chase Brandon is a 25-year veteran of various operations as an officer, and we benefited by those 25 years of experience and understanding the real goings-on, what it really takes to become somebody else.
This particular project is really very interesting from the official cooperation standpoint because we don't confirm or deny that we have a training facility, but it stands to reason that an organization like ours has to do very unique training for very unique operational purposes. And we do, in fact, have a secret training site. We have, in fact, several.
They look for the best and the brightest in the universities of America or places where there are particular skills that they require, and they approach young people and say, you know, would you be interested in joining the CIA as a trainee?
So you're a recruiter?
That I am.
You're kidding.
When we are looking for people in the clandestine service, we're looking for people who really think and live outside of the box, who are very autonomous, very creative, very energetic, very self-contained, and yet very much team players, people who are neither black nor white in their thinking, but can deal with the ambiguous gray areas of life.
Well, in case you haven't noticed, I'm not exactly CIA material.
Do you have any idea what CIA material is?
We go to job fairs and we go to college campuses and we run ads in trade magazines. I mean, we get thousands and thousands of calls, and 99% of them all are looked at and rejected because they're not the kind of individual we're looking for.
F4, Jacob.
You've been caught cheating, pal.
Please leave.
We make selections about who we think really are serious candidates, and then we'll invite them to a pretty exhaustive interview process and some testing and some operational scenario tests, just a sense of do they have what it takes. And the few that we feel did will be invited at agency expense to be flown to Washington, and then they will spend several days being really interviewed in depth, taking a lot of IQ tests and personality assessment tests.
And when you get angry, do you have trouble staying in control?
Sure.
Some of the questions are pretty funny, if not bizarre.
Quickly, would you rather ride on a train, dance in the rain, or feel no pain?
And at the end of several days, if we're happy you have all the characteristics we look for, we will have a place for you subject to you passing an extensive background investigation, a polygraph exam, and a medical exam. And then what follows is months of our security people going back to your hometown and wherever they have to go to pull every layer of your particular personal onion back so that we know exactly who you are.
Is your name James Clayton?
Yes.
You were born October 21st, 1976.
If you finally have completed all that, you will be packed up and sent off to our secret training facility, and you spend months and months and months down there.
Good morning. It's 0600. All CTs report to common area in 15 minutes.
It's one of the biggest adventures you'll ever have because you will live and work and train with people who will be your friends and your colleagues and your brethren for the rest of your life. And in the process, you're going to jump out of planes and do escape and evasion. You're going to shoot weapons of all types. You're going to learn self-defense. You're going to learn demolitions and improvised weaponry. You're going to learn how to do the agent acquisition cycle and use disguises and run surveillance programs to determine whether you're being followed or not. You're going to learn how to follow other people so you can conduct surveillances. You'll learn secret writing. You'll learn photography. You'll learn how to sketch. I mean, you will learn the entire litany of what we call the tradecraft.
Today, we practice the art of surveillance. Remember your training. The person being followed is the...
Rabbit.
Rabbit. Person doing the following is the...
I.
Everything that you see in this movie is really the curriculum. And there are clearly some noted departures from reality, some poetic license taking in the training process. Career trainees are not subjected to physical abuse. I mean, there is no kidnapping, there's no torture. Is it competitive? Absolutely. Is it stressful on the students? Yes, because they are working long hours and they are under a lot of pressure to perform. That's part of the test.
Everything is a test!
That phrase in the movie is correct.
If you are caught, you will most likely be tortured, shot, and/or hanged. And here's the best part. No one will ever hear about it.
We don't just make our living being able to assess people. We keep ourselves alive being able to assess them correctly. Because if you're going to pitch somebody on the idea of committing treason against their government, you have to get it right.
What you should learn from this exercise, and learn it well. Rule number 1. Do not get caught.
Most of the training that has to do with the mind game part of espionage, which is recruiting, convincing people to do your calling, being able to scan a room and then go back and write out a list of what you saw and how people were dressed, and being able to listen to 3 conversations at the same time in different languages and pick up useful things you need to focus on. All that is done in a role play scenario, and you will be playing opposite the instructor staff, all of whom are in role. And there are embassy parties, and the instructors may be in costumes and speaking foreign languages, and I mean, you're living in this mythical, scripted world, and you stay in character for the whole time you're down there.
Michael Jennings, First Secretary of Economic Affairs.
His Excellency does not shake hands, is never touched. You've offended him. Next time, do your homework.
You have to be the best actor, the best politician, and be able to think on your feet, especially when things get very dangerous, which they often do. I often look at people who go undercover and do that as being the ultimate actors, because in this situation, if somebody yells cut, they're talking about cutting your throat.
Go!